Do one more sniff. Hang on. Hello, my name is Dan. Welcome to InCider Press. We do unpretentious reviews of ciders. Today we're going to be taking a look at Henry Westons Vintage Cider versus Woodgate Vintage Cider, which is Lidl's very own imitation of Henry Westons. So, without further ado, let's get on with the review. Henry Westons probably doesn't need any introduction at all, but for those of you that have been living under a rock, haven't ventured into your local shop's alcohol section, Henry Westons is a cider created by Westons Cider in Herefordshire. It is a vintage cider and it sits at a lovely 8.2% ABV, and typically you'll find it in 500ml bottles. Henry Westons has this really classic look. If you were to ask someone, what does a cider look like? Describe a cider to me. They would probably describe something very similar to Henry Westons. It's a very nice golden colour. Henry's is a light sparkling with delicate bubbles just bubbling up to the top gently, and then they kind of just sit on the surface of it, which is really nice. When I first took the smell of Henry, I did choke up a little bit with the smell of ethanol, but I did take another sniff. I did get the apples through. Not quite fresh, crisp apples, but perhaps more older ones, vintage, certainly more mature apples. It's quite a sharp, medium dry start, and then you definitely get the taste of alcohol in this one. But it does finish quite pleasantly with like a fruity finish. Henry Westons almost has like two personalities. It goes from a cider that would put hairs in your chest to something that's actually pretty juicy in the end. It's definitely a clean, better second half of the palate. I'd liken it to like an apple pie, but the apples are slightly aged. Not dirty or rotten or anything like that, that would just be insulting, but just mature. Everything about this cider is just mature and grown up. What can I say about Woodgate that's different? The ciders are pretty much identical, but there are some slight differences. They both have like this proud golden hue about them. It's not as fizzy, it's not as refreshing looking. On the nose, Woodgate is more gentle, hosting a weaker smell of alcohol, and it's 7.3%, so, I'm not surprised there. Taking a big waft of it doesn't give you a big shock value like it does with the Henry Westons. So what does Woodgate cider taste like? Well, the smell is weaker, and unfortunately the taste is weaker too. It's more watery, which makes it more drinkable, but for the wrong reasons. Don't get me wrong, there is a traditional apple quality to the taste, but it just felt diluted. What are my final thoughts? I feel like Henry Westons just has a little bit more love put into it. Woodgate just feels like it's made just to compete with Henry Westons. Both are really good prices. Henry Westons is slightly stronger in alcohol level, and both make really efficient drinking. So if you're just looking to go out on the raz, both of them make great options. If you want a little bit more flavour, then I would go for the Henry Westons. Woodgate is just lacking something, just a little bit more flavour of alcohol in Woodgate. Not masked by any apple, unfortunately. So yeah, I preferred Henry Westons. I wouldn't go out my way to buy and drink both of them. But if I wanted a cheap night out and a bit of pre-drinks, then I'd definitely choose either of them really. But probably the Henry Westons. Thank you very much for watching this review of Henry Westons versus the Woodgate Vintage Cider. It's been a really interesting experience to match both of them together. If you want to see more reviews, go on to InCiderPress.co.uk. We've got a whole blog and reviews there. You can join the InCider Press Discord, where we all share our reviews and our cider experiences, as well as our InCider Press community group on Facebook as well. You can find those links in the description. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.